computer today. We're having some type of technical difficulty, but that won't stop us. I made a commitment, right? So this is week 2, the first day, the first reading for week 2. One second, let me get a little bit of water. For week 2, right? And yeah, I had a much better intro the last time. But this is week 2, the first reading of week 2 of the Master Key System. We're reading chapter 2, and we're going to be doing the exercises to follow, right? I don't know. I feel like I got tired, not gonna lie. I was already kind of tired, chat. This is TMI, I'm just waiting for the better vibes before I start reading, right? I was a little tired a couple seconds ago, but on the admittance of being tired, I stopped being so tired so much. So, and I swallowed my gum. It was just mad crazy. And I'm sorry I cleared my throat so loud. It's probably crazy. But we are energy's back. Wake up. We have to wake up for this. We're waking up for this. Week 2 of the Master Key System. Week 2 of 24. Right? We're gonna be doing this for the next 23 weeks now, because we did last week was the first chapter. We read 3 times. Right? We're gonna be doing Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday readings, followed by the exercises that follow them. We're gonna enjoy ourselves. That's the point, right? So let's go ahead and get started. This is the Master Key System by Charles F. Hanau, the step-by-step guide to using the law of attraction. Part 2, chapter 2 of week 2. Our difficulties are largely due to confused ideas and ignorance of our true interest. The great task is to discover the laws of nature to which we are to adjust ourselves. Clear thinking and moral insight are, therefore, of incalculable value. All processes, even those of thought, rest on solid foundations. The keener the sensibilities, the more acute the judgment. The more delicate, what's up, bro? Welcome to the stream. The more delicate the taste, the more refined the moral feelings. The more subtle the intelligence, the loftier the aspiration. The pure and more intense are the gratifications which is existence. I'm reading the Master Key System. I'll hold the book up. I'm not gonna lie, this is way more comfortable. I'll read like this. So we're reading chapter 2. Appreciate the like on the stream. Reading chapter 2 of the Master Key System. We're gonna be reading this 3 times this week, followed by doing the exercises that the chapters have you to do. So that's gonna require us to spend 15 minutes after I finish the chapter 2 reading, right? Good morning to you. The chapter 2 reading of like 15 minutes of quietness, and then it's going to be something added on to that for this chapter. We're going to be doing this for the next 23 weeks now. We're going to be doing this Tuesday, which is today, Thursday, and then Saturday. And then we're going to do this together, and we're going to do it for the next 23 weeks. So if you want to do it, stay tuned, subscribe, like, talk in the chat, and then we'll just have a good time together. But I'm going to continue reading. The more refined, the more feelings. The more subtle the intelligence, the loftier the aspiration. The pure and more intense are the gratifications which existence yields. Hence it is that the study of the best that has been thought, in the world gives supreme pleasure. The powers, uses, and possibilities of the mind under the new interpretations are incomparably more wonderful than the most extravagant accomplishment, or even dreams of material progress. Thought is energy. Active thought is active energy. Concentrated thought is a concentrated energy. Thought concentrated on a definite purpose becomes power. This is the power which is, page 14, being used by those who do not believe in the virtue of poverty or the beauty of self-denial. They perceive that this is the talk of weaklings. The ability to receive and manifest this power depends upon the ability to recognize the infinite energy ever dwelling in man, constantly creating and recreating his body and mind, and ready at any moment to be made manifest through him in any needful manner. An exact proportion to the recognition of this truth will be the manifestation in the outer life of the individual. Part 2 explains the method by which this is accomplished. And that's what we'll be doing today. Bro, where am I from? I'm from North Carolina. I'm from North Carolina, the big NC. Let's keep on going. The operations of the mind are produced by two parallel modes of activity, the one conscious and the other subconscious. Professor Davidson says, he who thinks to illuminate the whole range of mental action by the light of his own consciousness is not unlike the one who should go about to illuminate the universe with a rushlight. The subconscious logical processes are carried on with a certainty and regularity which would be impossible if there existed the possibility of error. Our mind is so designed that it prepares for us the most important foundations of cognition, whilst we have not the slightest apprehension of the modus operandi. The subconscious soul, like a benevolent stranger, works and makes provision for our benefit, pouring only the mature fruit into our lap. Thus, ultimate analysis of thought processes shows that the subconscious is the theater of the most important mental phenomena. It is through the subconscious that Shakespeare must have perceived, without effort, great truths which are hidden from the conscious mind of the student. That Phidias, I'm not sure if I'm saying that right, fashioned marble and bronze. That Raphael painted Madonnas and Beethoven composed symphonies. Ease and perfection depend entirely upon the degree in which we cease to depend upon the consciousness. Playing the piano, skating, operating the typewriter, the skilled trades depend for their perfect execution on the process of the subconscious mind. The marvel of playing a brilliant piece on the piano while at the same time conducting a vigorous conversation shows the greatness of our subconscious powers. We are all aware of how dependent we are upon the subconscious, and the greater, the nobler, the more brilliant our thoughts are, the more it is obvious to ourselves that the origin lies beyond our ken. We find ourselves endowed with tact, instinct, sense of beautiful and art, music, etc., of whose origin or dwelling place we are wholly unconscious. The value of the subconscious is enormous. It inspires us, it warns us, it furnishes us with names, facts, and scenes from the storehouse of memory. It directs our thoughts, tastes, and accomplishments, and accomplishes tasks so intricate that, page 16, no conscious mind, even if it had the power, has the capacity for. Sorry, chat, give me 1 second. I'm gonna move the camera. Nope, not that way. Not this way. Okay, well, I guess I'm not moving the camera now. Oof, my neck was itching something crazy. Okay, I was reading kind of fast. Let me slow down. We can walk at will. We can raise the arm whenever we choose to do so. We can give our attention through eye or ear to any subject at pleasure. On the other hand, we cannot stop our heartbeats, nor the circulation of the blood, nor the growth of stature, nor the formation of nerve and muscle tissue, nor the building of the bones, nor many other important vital processes. If we compare these two sets of action, the one decreed by the will of the moment and the other proceeding in the majestic, rhythmic course, subject to no vacillation, but constant at every moment, we stand in awe of the latter and ask to have the mystery explained. We see at once that these are the vital processes of our physical life, and we cannot avoid the inference that these all-important functions are designedly withdrawn from the domain of our outward will, with its variations and transitions, and placed under the direction of a permanent and dependable power within us. Of these two powers, the outward and changeable has been termed the conscious mind, or the objective mind. dealing with outward objects. The interior power is called the subconscious mind or the subjective mind, and besides its work on the mental plane, it controls the regular functions which make physical life possible. Page 17. It is necessary to have a clear understanding of their respective functions on the mental plane, as well as, hey Tashita, hey. How you doing? How you doing? It's Tuesday night. How you doing tonight? Perceiving, perceiving and operating through the five physical senses. The conscious mind deals with the impressions and objects of the outward life. It has the faculty of discrimination, carrying with it the responsibility of choice. It has the power of reasoning, whether inductive, deductive, analytical, or syslogic. Syslogistic. And this power may be developed to a high degree. It is the seat of the will, with all the energies that flow therefrom. Not only can it impress other minds, but it can direct the subconscious mind. In this way, the conscious mind becomes the responsible ruler and guardian of the subconscious mind. It is this high function which can completely reverse conditions in your life. It is often true that conditions of fear, worry, poverty, disease, inharmony, and evils of all kinds dominate us by reason of false suggestions accepted by the unguarded subconscious mind. All this, the trained conscious mind can entirely prevent by its vigilant protective action. It may properly be called the watchman at the gate of the great subconscious domain. One writer has expressed the chief distinction between the two phases of mind. Thus, conscious mind is reasoning will. Subconscious mind is instinctive desire. The result of a subconscious mind is instinctive desire, the result of past reasoning will. We're gonna explain this real quick, chat. What about me? I'm doing pretty good. I'm reading a good book. You know, I'm streaming. Got likes on the stream. Got people in the stream. I'm doing good. Work's been pretty good. The weather's been pretty nice out here recently. You know, what's up, too? Welcome to the stream. Weather's gotten nicer here in Florida. No more hurricanes. You feel me? So I can't complain. I can't complain right now. I'm feeling good. Life is nice. And I get to read and enjoy myself. So you feel me? But page 18. But before we get started on page 18, we're gonna go over what we just read on page 17, right? In 16 and 17. So we just created the distinction between the two, right? We just talked about the difference between the conscious mind and the subconscious mind, right? And then we talked about also the roles of the subconscious and the conscious mind, right? So what are the roles here as described by Charles F. Hanau? If I'm saying his name right, I'll just call him Charles, right? Charles says the subconscious mind is the power that controls all the things that we have no idea about. So you breathing, your blood flow, right? You think you control your breathing for real, but you really don't. But your blood flow, your heart beating, and all those other crazy things that you really don't truly understand. But your conscious mind controls your choices, your day-to-day decisions in life, those things that are very tangible around you, right? And also, what does it also do? It protects the subconscious mind from noise, right? How does the subconscious mind protect? How does the conscious mind protect the subconscious mind from the noise? According to Charles, the conscious mind is the guardian at the gate. According to Charles, it is the guy who says, "Hey, you're not allowed in here." So when somebody comes up to you and says this or this or this about you, your conscious is supposed to reject things that you know are not true about you, right? That is a job of the conscious mind. It protects the subconscious from creating a reality that you don't want to live in. So whenever somebody comes up to you, your job as whatever your name is, and we'll use me, my name is Chris. My job as Chris is to say, yo, you don't know nothing about me, so you can't tell me who I am. But I'll let you know who I am by being myself or telling you about me, right? If I so choose to. But that's my job as the conscious, as Chris here, is to reject things that are not me and to accept things that are. Make choices. That's my job. That's all my job is. But let's keep reading. Page 18. The subconscious mind draws just and accurate inferences from premises furnished from outside sources. Where the premise is true, the subconscious mind reaches a faultless conclusion. But where the premise or suggestion is an error, the whole structure falls. The subconscious mind does not engage in the process of proving. It relies upon the conscious mind, the watchman at the gate, to guard it from mistaken impressions. Receiving any suggestion as true, the subconscious mind at once proceeds to act thereon in the whole domain, in the whole domain of its tremendous field of work. The conscious mind can suggest either truth or error. If the latter, it is at the cost of a wide-reaching peril to the whole being. The conscious mind ought to be on duty during every waking hour. When the watchman is off guard, or when its calm judgment is suspended under a variety of circumstances, distractions, then the subconscious mind is unguarded and left open to suggestion from all sources. Propaganda, during the wild excitement of panic, or during the height of anger, or the impulses of the irresponsible mob, or at any other time of restrained passion. The conditions are most dangerous. The subconscious mind is then open to suggestion of fear, hatred, selfishness, greed, self-depreciation, and other negative forces derived from surrounding persons or circumstances. The result is usually unwholesome in the extreme, with effects that may endure to distress it for a long time. That's how you get stuck, you know? You're around people, right, who you shouldn't be around. You start to not reject their philosophies on life, and you start to become like them. That's why you're supposed to have good people around you, right? They may change your philosophy for the worse or for the better if you let your guard down. Hence the great importance of guarding the subconscious mind from false impressions. The subconscious mind perceives by intuition. Hence its processes are rapid. Hence its processes are rapid. It does not wait for the slow methods of conscious reasoning. In fact, it cannot employ them. The subconscious mind never sleeps, never rests, any more than does your heart or your blood. It has been found that by plainly stating to the subconscious mind certain specific things to be accomplished, forces are set in operation that lead to the result desired. Here then is a source of power, which places us in touch with omnipotence. Herein is a deep principle which is well worth our most earnest study. The operation of this law is interesting. Those who put it into operation find that when they go out to meet the person with whom they anticipate a difficult interview, something has been there before them and dissolved the supposed differences. Everything is changed. All is harmonious. They find that when some difficult business problems present itself, they can afford to make delay, and something suggests the proper solution. Everything is properly arranged. In fact, those who have learned to trust the subconscious find that they have infinite resources at their command. I've read that really sloppily. Sorry about that, chat. Thank you for that compliment. Page 20. The subconscious mind is the seat of our principles and our aspirations. It is the fount of our artistic and altruistic ideals. These instincts can only be overthrown by an elaborate and gradual process of undermining the innate principles. I need some gum, I'm not gonna lie. The subconscious mind cannot argue controversially. Hence, this is a very important part, chat. I want you guys to, I'm gonna read that again, I'm gonna read that much better. Page 20, we'll start from the beginning. The subconscious mind is the seat of our principles and our aspirations. It is a fount of our artistic and altruistic ideals. These instincts can only be overthrown by an elaborate and gradual process of undermining the innate principles. What does that mean? Because that's a bar, right? The subconscious mind is the seat of our principles and our aspirations. What does that mean? How is the conscious mind the seat of our principles and aspirations? That means your morals and your values, right? That's all that means. The subconscious knows what your morals and your values are. So it's not gonna let you ask for something that you don't morally agree with, or that your values don't align with, right? You're not aligned with stuff like that if your values and your morals aren't aligned that way, right? That way. It is a fount of our artistic and altruistic ideals. Everything that you imagine All the creativity that you have come from somewhere, right? But it comes from the seat of yourself. Who are you at your root, right? These instincts can only be overthrown by an elaborate and gradual process of undermining the innate principles. These things can only be changed by being in places of either greatness or not greatness, right? If you are in an environment that's full of not greatness, then your values are gradually undermined. That's why you are the company you keep matters. I said that before, right? That can be undermined. Your principles can be changed and undermined by having the wrong company, but by having amazing company and amazing friends around you, right? Your principles and your morals grow. They blossom. They become fruitful, and everything that you ask for is in line with yourself. So it happens just so much smoother. You become so much more connected to your moral system that everything you ask for just seems like it's working a lot faster. But what really is happening is you are actually more aligned with yourself, right? You are more aligned with your morals. A lot of people aren't aligned with their morals, and that's why they don't get what they want, right? Your morals don't mess with it. You ain't getting it, brother. All right, let's keep reading. The subconscious mind cannot argue controversially. So if you are in your mind, right, if you think you are talking to God, right, and you are having an argument in your mind, right, I agree, you're speaking truth, appreciate that, and you are having an argument in your mind, you are not talking to God. God does not argue, right? And in this sense, he's calling the subconscious innately a fragment of God, pretty much, right? God would not be arguing, right? So if you are in your head arguing, you can stop yourself right there if you want to, because that you're not speaking to anything. You're speaking to something else that is not going to bring you anywhere that you're actually trying to get to. So you can go ahead and stop there and realign yourself because you're out of sync. Now let's keep reading. Hence, if it has accepted wrong suggestion, the sure method of overcoming them is by the use of a strong counter-suggestion. That just means affirmations. Affirmations can be amazing if you believe in an affirmation, right? You shouldn't use things that you don't believe in. That's what I believe. You should not use things you don't believe in. Now, gradually using things to grow a belief in something is an amazing thing to do. But if you know that you're not somebody who's ever going to be believing in something, you probably should find another method. You may be doing the reverse work, right? But the sure method of overcoming them is by the use of a strong counter-suggestion. Something you truly believe in is a strong counter-suggestion, frequently repeated, which the mind must accept, thus eventually forming new and healthy habits of thought and life. For the subconscious mind is the seat of habit. That which we do over and over becomes mechanical. It is no longer an act of judgment, but has worn its deep grooves in the subconscious mind. This is favorable for us if the habit be wholesome and right. If it be harmful and wrong, the remedy is to recognize the omnipotence of the subconscious mind and suggest present actual freedom. If something is wrong, just come up with something else to say. It's just that simple. You don't have to make it that deep, but fear makes you make it deeper than what it is. There we go. That was a tough sentence to get out. Okay. Ooh. Boom. And we're going to read that sentence again. If it be harmful and wrong, the remedy is to recognize the omnipotence of the subconscious mind and suggest present actual freedom. The subconscious, being creative and one with our divine source, will at once create the freedom suggested, will at once create it. To sum up, the normal function of the subconscious on the physical side have to do with the regular and vital processes, with the preservation of life and the restoration of health, with the care of offspring, which include an instinctive desire to preserve all life and improve conditions generally. Page 21. On the mental side, it is a storehouse of memory. It harbors the wonderful thought messengers who work unhampered by time or space. It is the fountain of the practical initiative and constructive forces of life. It is the seat of habit. On the spiritual side, it is the source of ideals, of aspiration, of the imagination, and is the channel through which we recognize our divine source. And in proportion as we recognize this divinity, do we come into understanding of the source of power. Someone may ask, how can the subconscious change conditions? The reply is because the subconscious is a part of the universal mind, and a part must be same in kind and quality as the whole. The only difference is one of degree. The whole, as we know, is creative. In fact, it is the only creator there is. Consequently, we find that mind is creative. And as thought is the only activity which the mind possesses, thought must necessarily be creative also. But we shall find that there is a vast difference between simply thinking and directing our thought consciously, systematically, and constructively. When we do this, we place our mind in harmony with the universal mind. We come in tune with the infinite. We set in operation the mightiest force in existence, the creative power of the, page 22, universal mind. This, as everything else, is governed by natural law. And this law is the law of attraction, which is that mind is creative and will automatically correlate with its object and bring it into manifestation. Last week, I gave you an exercise. Last week we did this, right? And this week we're going to be doing this exercise. Last week I gave you an exercise for the purpose of securing control of the physical body. If you have accomplished this, you are ready to advance. If you were not here last week, what I also want you to do is sit for 15 minutes at any time during your day, quiet, and just let your thoughts happen. Now, we're going to get into this week's exercise for everybody who is going to be doing it for this week. All right, if you have accomplished this, you are ready to advance. This time, you will begin to control your thoughts. Always take the same room, the same chair, and the same position, if possible. In some cases, it is not convenient to take the same room. In this case, simply make the best use of conditions as may be available. Now be perfectly still as before, but inhibit all thoughts. This will give you control over all thoughts of care, worry, and fear, and will enable you to entertain only the kind of thoughts you desire. Continue this exercise until you gain complete mastery. You would not be able to do this for more than a few moments at a time, but the exercise is valuable because it will be a very practical demonstration of the great number of thoughts which are constantly trying to gain access to your mental world. Next week you will receive instructions for an exercise which may be a little more interesting, but it is necessary that you master this one first. Okay, we're gonna read that again, chat, because I tore that to pieces a little bit, I'm not gonna lie. Okay, last week, I gave you an exercise for the purpose of secure control of the physical body. If you have accomplished this, you are ready to advance. This time, you will begin to control your thoughts. Always take the same room, the same chair, in the same position if possible. In some cases, it is not convenient to take the same room. In some cases, it is not convenient to take the same room. In this case, simply make the best use of such conditions as may be available. Now be perfectly still as before, but, and this is the difference, chat, inhibit all thoughts. This will give you control over all thoughts of care, worry, and fear, and will enable you to entertain only the kind of thoughts you desire. Continue this exercise until you gain complete mastery. You would not be able to do this for more than a few moments at a time. But the exercise is valuable because it will be a very practical demonstration of the great number of thoughts which are constantly trying to gain access to your mental world. Next week, you will receive instructions for an exercise which may be a little more interesting, but it is necessary that you master this one first. Okay, so chat, after we read the part 2 study questions with answers, we will get into tonight's exercise. Cause and effect is as absolute and undeviating in the hidden realm of thought as in the world of visible and material things. Mind is the master weaver, both of the interior garment of character and the outer garment of circumstance. James Allen. Page 23. Part 2, study questions with answers. What are the two modes of mental activity, conscious and subconscious? Upon what do ease and perfection depend? Ease and perfection depend entirely upon the degree in which we cease to depend upon the conscious mind. What is the value of the subconscious? It is enormous. It guides us, warns us, it controls the vital processes, and is the seat of memory. What are some of the functions of the conscious mind? It has the faculty of discrimination. It has the power of reasoning. It is the seat of the will and may impress the subconscious. Page 24. How has the distinction between the conscious and the subconscious been expressed? Conscious mind is reasoning will. Subconscious mind is instinctive desire, the result of past reasoning will. What does that mean? Past reasoning will means anything that has been accepted through the conscious, because the conscious is what? The reasoning will. So the past reasoning will, things that have been accepted through the conscious mind, go to the subconscious and become a reality, right? What method is necessary in order to impress the subconscious? Mentally state what is wanted. What will be the result? If the desire is in harmony with the forward movement of the great whole forces, forces will be set in motion which will bring about the result. What is the result of the operation of this law? Our environment reflects conditions corresponding to the predominant mental attitude which we entertain. So, your state of mind. Your state of mind. That is the operation of the law. That is your state of mind. What name has been given to this law? The law of attraction. Should be the law of the state of the mind. How is the law stated? Thought is a creative energy and will automatically correlate with its object and bring it into manifestation. Correlate with its object and bring it into manifestation. There we go. Butcher that a little bit, chat. Okay, so chat, what are we doing tonight, right? Last week we did a very similar exercise, but what we did last week, we sat down and just let our thoughts happen, right? We did it 3 times last week. And then, so now what will we be doing this week? We're going to be doing the same thing, but this week we're going to sit here for 15 minutes quietly together. We're not going to say anything. We're going to cut out all noise. We're going to get into a nice, comfortable, erect position. But we're not going to think. Every time a thought comes up, we're going to hush. We're going to hush it up. Just to show you exactly what he said in the book. You have the right to choose what thoughts are running around your mind, right? And this will give you a sense of peace and calm without the pills. You feel me? Or without the ganj. Because sometimes you might want to not use that at that time. You feel me? But let's get to it. So in about 30 seconds, we're going to start getting ready to sit down and not think. So every thought that comes up, we're going to hush it up, or we're just going to go back to quiet. And we're just going to, if it gets too loud, we're just going to take a breath, get back to it, and hop back into it. It might take a while, right? Just like you said in the book, you're going to run into some thoughts, and they're going to stump you, right? It's going to be some noise. You might not know how to quiet the noise. Just take a breath and start over again. Next time will be longer. The next time you'll do it longer. The next time you'll do it longer. And then, I don't know, you just do it longer. You get better at it. That's the goal. That's honestly the goal, to get better at it. Just get it as good as you want to get. That's the goal. So we're going to go ahead and get quiet, right? We got 15 minutes. It's 10:01. And we're going to be quiet for the next 15 minutes. And whatever thoughts come up, try to keep it as quiet as possible. And we're quiet now. Okay, chat. So that's by our 15 minutes of quiet time today, chat. So what did we just do together? We just did chapter 2, reading of the Master Key System. This is week 2 of a 24-week, consistent 3-day-a-week live stream. This week we're going to be doing Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday. And what did we do today? Today we did a additive on what we did last week. Last week we sat down quiet and we let our thoughts roam, but we were able to ignore our thoughts, right? To let them, to find your center ground, right? To find yourself in all the noise, right? Today we added on top of that. Now that you know that you are not all that noise, you can now tell that noise to be quiet, right? Now that you know you're not the noise, you can tell the noise to be quiet, right? So you just added on top of that. Just keep that in mind for the next time we do this together. Hope you guys enjoyed tonight's reading, tonight's meditation, and we're gonna wrap it up here. So it's the outro. It's outro time. We all got that limitless core, baby. I appreciate you. I might even love you, but I'm for sure glad you woke up today. And we're out. We're done with tonight's stream. Today we read the chapter 2 of the Master Key System. Thursday this week we'll be reading chapter 2 of the Master Key System and doing the exercise once again. And Saturday what we'll be doing reading? We'll be reading chapter 2 of the Master Key System. Doing the same thing we did tonight. The following week we'll be reading chapter 3. Doing the exercise. But join in, tune in, like, comment, chat, subscribe. Stay tuned, turn your post notifications, and we're going to see you guys next time on the next time we do another reading. Peace, and I hope you had a great time. I did. Good night.